Some interesting reactions in the past few days since Baltimore's top prosecutor Democrat and friend of Kamala Harris, Marilyn Mosby, was indicted last week over lying to get COVID relief funds and loans so that she could buy homes in Florida. Before her indictment, Marilyn Mosby called Kamala Harris an inspiration. Marilyn Mosby had been promoted as a rising star for the Democrats, and Kamala Harris praised her for, quote, always doing the right thing. In recent weeks, Mosby had been criticized over Baltimore's rising crime rate. She responded by calling her critics, including the state's Republican governor, racist. Now, after her indictment, the Baltimore Democrat and her lawyer are blaming the charges on racism and Donald Trump. Mosby's lawyer claimed that the charges were part of a racist witch hunt. On Friday, Mosby also tried blaming Donald Trump for the charges, saying, quote, Donald Trump called for me to be prosecuted several years ago, and I fought back against his administration. On Thursday, a federal grand jury indicted Baltimore's top prosecutor on charges of perjury and making false mortgage applications in the purchase of 2 Florida vacation homes. Despite having an income of over $250,000 a year, Marilyn Mosby claimed that she was facing financial hardship due to COVID. An article on this published Friday in the New York Post opened saying the top Baltimore prosecutor indicted this week on federal perjury charges modeled herself on Vice President Kamala Harris, who in turn supported her protege, saying she cannot fail. Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby called Kamala Harris her inspiration and role model as a progressive prosecutor, proudly posting a photo of them smiling together on her Instagram. Quote, there would be no Marilyn Mosby without Kamala Harris, the scandal-scarred prosecutor told the Baltimore Sun in November of 2020 after her idol's historic posting as VP-elect. Another quote says, she's a bold, brilliant, beautiful black woman, Mosby gushed, saying that Harris inspired her to run as her city's top prosecutor, a position that is up for re-election later this year. Mosby said she used Harris's own work as a California Attorney General as a model for her progressive reforms, which already made her a divisive figure ahead of her federal grand jury indictment Thursday on charges of perjury and making false mortgage applications. They continue saying the respect was not one-sided, and Harris had campaigned in support of the rising Democrat figure, helping Mosby keep her $248,000 a year job. Quote, when we march and we shout about what we need to do to reform the criminal justice system, we better understand that we gotta march and shout with our paychecks, the then-Senator Kamala Harris reportedly said during a fundraiser in Los Angeles in 2017. The 4-count indictment Thursday accuses her of falsely claiming twice to have suffered a work-related financial hardship from COVID-19 in order to request early withdrawals totaling $90,000 from her city employee retirement account to instead buy homes in Florida. The 2 perjury counts each carry a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, and the 2 mortgage-related counts each carry a maximum of 30 years in prison. Quote, we will fight these charges vigorously, and I remain confident that once all the evidence is presented, that she will prevail against these bogus charges, said Mosby's attorney. He insisted the charges were, quote, rooted in personal, political, and racial animus 5 months from her election. Here's a photo showing one of the homes that Mosby purchased using these funds. The caption here saying Mosby allegedly falsely claimed she was facing COVID-related financial troubles to use her city retirement fund to help her buy a property in Kissimmee. She was also accused of claiming this home was a second residence in order to get a lower interest rate. And another photo here showing the second home that Mosby purchased with these funds. As expected, some mainstream news outlets like CNN seem to be coming to Marilyn Mosby's defense. It's a headline here saying Baltimore top prosecutor Marilyn Mosby has been mired in controversy since she took office. CNN opened saying Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby once said city prosecutors had the toughest job in America, a job made increasingly difficult when delivering justice means overhauling a system many feel is broken. Now, amid her second re-election campaign and months before the June primary, she faces criminal charges her attorney says are politically and racially driven. Later in the same article, CNN references Mosby's Friday news conference where she tried to draw links between the federal charges and her work to, quote, bridge the divide between the criminal justice system and the communities that we are trusted to serve. At times, speaking over the din of city traffic, she told reporters that she has sought only to make communities safer while improving the justice system. She expected the job would be hard, she said, but she did not expect the personal attacks, nor did she expect to be mocked and ridiculed, she said. CNN looks like they're framing Mosby as a victim after these charges. They include a quote from Mosby that says, "I also need citizens who I am blessed to serve to know that I am innocent of the charges that have been leveled against me, and I intend to fight with every ounce of energy within my being to prove my innocence." CNN article continues saying she cited sacrifices she made, including missing her two daughters' games and recitals, fending off investigations, and having to incessantly fight to keep her law license. She spent $500,000 defending herself against frivolous attacks, she said. CNN claims that Mosby has also received hate mail and now requires 24-hour security. Meanwhile, they say she has been forced to battle powerful institutions, the prosecutor said, pointing to a laundry list of enemies that includes the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Fraternal Order of Police, right-wing media, Governor Larry Hogan, and Donald Trump. Mosby said that the charges against her are the product of, quote, unreasonable and unyielding abusive attacks, investigation, and prosecution. Please don't be fooled. We are now 5 months from our next election, and this indictment is merely a political ploy by my political adversaries to unseat me, Mosby told reporters. Please also understand that I will never let that happen without a fight. Finally, one other question many are asking following this indictment. The Baltimore Sun with this headline saying, as Marilyn Mosby fights for her political life, what role does her husband, the Baltimore City Council president, play? Publicly silent since Thursday when prosecutors charged his wife with perjury, Nick Mosby posted supportive messages Friday on his Instagram account. In the same article, they point out the fact that 2 of the city's top 3 public officials after the mayor are married to each other has previously raised concerns of potential conflicts of interest, as well as the consolidation of too much power in one household. Although, as they add here, the Mosbys continue to enjoy support as they are promoted as a unique and even glamorous local power couple. A final quote here says, "I just have to wait and see how this plays out," said former Democrat Councilman Carl Stokes. "It's very difficult. I'm sure Nick's heart and mind says I should defend my wife, but at the same time, I think he's definitely limited. He doesn't want to complicate his wife's case or his own situation." Stokes sees support in the city for the idea that the Mosbys have been unfairly targeted. Quote, "There's a strong belief, whether it's true or not, that people out there are trying to get Marilyn and Nick." In a city like Baltimore, commentators say, having seen multiple black office holders taken down, they say only further strengthens a belief that the system is racially biased. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think about this latest update. If you could give this video a thumbs up, remember to click the like button, that's greatly appreciated, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. As usual, thank you very much, everyone who has been supporting the channel with your donations over at Patreon or PayPal. Even just a few dollars makes a huge difference and helps me keep talking about these important issues. You can find either link down in the video description where you can support this channel directly, patreon.com/realityreader or paypal.me/realityreader. And once again, with all the censorship happening here at YouTube, I'll remind everyone it might be a good idea to find me on some alternative platforms as well. One place where you can find me is superu.net. That's super, the letter u.net. If you search for Kip Simpson there, you can also find me at odyssey.com. I will follow up soon. Thanks again.